Hey YouTube, it's a whopping 100 degrees here in Portland, Oregon, and I'm at home, and I just was out, and I thought I would go on a rant about a few things that have been bothering me lately. As you know, as many of you know that have watched my videos before, one of the things that I've been very angry about is the Cash for Clunkers program. I feel like it was very much a waste, and I just wanted to add a few comments about that. But first I wanted to share some news. Apparently the new Ford Explorer is going to be a crossover SUV. Now, this may not seem like a very big deal to some people, and maybe it's not on some level. On the other hand, it seems like to me a crossover SUV is more like a car. In fact, that's why it's called a crossover. It's car-based and not truck-based. I'm seeing more and more of these on the road, and they use a lot more gas than cars do, yet they don't seem to have the advantages that a truck-based SUV has. Speaking of the Ford Explorer, one of the things I do here is in Oregon is I like to go hiking, and I was on a really difficult peak that is pretty difficult to get to. And one of the easier ways to get there is this: if you have a four-wheel drive vehicle that's a high clearance vehicle, like a truck or an SUV. And that's one of the ways that, perhaps the easiest way to get there. But one of the people that I met up there, he had driven up there in a Ford Explorer, and even he said that bottomed out in places. So clearly these vehicles, the truck-based SUVs, have a purpose. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of older trucks on the road, and in a way that I didn't even see since the 90s. But now I see them up and running. The simple fact of the matter is that trucks and SUVs in particular, and cars in general, have become more expensive. I collected a lot of news articles on that, and maybe I'll share those. Also include a link about the new Ford Explorer for those of you who want to read about that. But clearly my point is, these vehicles have a purpose. They should not have been destroyed. And it just creates problems for people that really do need them. When I was going out to this trail, one of the people I went with was complaining about these Hummers that we saw, and that just, it seems very typical. But I told him, well, don't worry, they're not making the Hummer anymore. But how much of this kind of stuff is from the government, and how much of it is market demand? Clearly there is a market for trucks and SUVs. People keep buying them, and the government wants to destroy them. What kind of world do we live in? A world that's like this. Another point I wanted to make is that if you think about it, cars, crossover SUVs, things like that, vans, they need to run on city roads. They have to have constant improvements by the government in order to function. They're very much a product of a society that is well maintained and through taxes. Whereas the 4x4 trucks and SUVs, they can go on some of these roads that are less maintained, where the government doesn't come out as much and pave them. And they can handle that kind of road more. It may not be the best ride, but if you think about it, like, what involves more government interference? One of the other things I've been hearing is I was listening to the Ed Schultz show on the radio, not by choice, mind you, and the guy is just it's just everything I always hated about the right wing when I was younger. This guy is just like that, but for the left wing. He keeps talking about energy independence as if foreign oil is some kind of evil thing. Well, I'm going to tell you that it's not. That almost all the countries that sell us oil do it voluntarily, and it's not a case of directly supporting terrorism. I heard somebody talk about how he only shops at certain gas station because that oil does not come from the Middle East, so it's terror-free oil. There's no such thing as terror-free oil, because there's no such thing as terror oil. terrorism is connected to all kinds of things. It's a mode of operation, it's connected to the drug trade, it's connected to everything. You know, the countries that sell us oil do it willingly, they do it gladly. One of the reasons that we don't drill for more oil here in America has to do with the cost of oil production. In Saudi Arabia, it's simply cheaper. So that's why they quit drilling in places like Oklahoma as much. So I just thought I would share that, and hope this video was useful in some way. So rate this video even if you hate it, add comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you like it. Have a great day.